I
I'm
appreciate
so
y'all.
happy. The days of me booking hotels when I come to New Jersey are over.
Yeah, look, we have a
Hallelujah.
guest
Hold
room.
on.
We have a guest
Right.
room.
Man, I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Yeah, listen, Var laughing till I slide that bill under his at 11 o'clock. Checkout is at 11, nigga.
Boom, like the Marriott. Okay.
Your Uber to the flight is outside. You're now tuned in.
You're now tuned in.
You are now tuned in.
You're now tuned in
You are now tuned in.
to the Juxtaposition Podcast.
My God.
Shout out to Nate, bro.
Mace, man. Welcome to episode 44 of the Juxtaposition Podcast, aka the Extraordinary Nobodies, aka the Starting Five, aka the Five Heartbeats, aka Four Hubbies and Impossible.
Yo,
Here with the guys. We are down one, but I am Varstenio Hall. We got CEO, we got Chef, we got Pulpit Poppy. What is going on, my brothers? How was your weekend? I ain't heard a hallelujah in a minute, so thank you for that. Appreciate that.
It feels like it's been a minute, man. This has been a great week, man. This was a great week, great weekend. Feels good to see y'all, be with y'all again.
Chef, what's going on in your world, man? What's going on in the DMV area?
DMV is cool, things are picking up quite quickly. People are running around maskless. Israel is like a thing. So, but the world's trying to open up, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, how do y'all feel about that? Let's start with you, Kev. How do you feel about the world slowly opening up in America, but literally in Brazil and India, like it's insane how crazy it is.
I think we should learn from our mistakes and like really not try to force ourselves to let the power of the dollar drive us into making a decision.
Capitalism.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting. I'd say like people still be careful. Still have to be careful. There's still some regulations and guidelines that recommend that there's certain places you have to wear a mask. Like
right,
they're saying like tight areas like the movie theaters or things of the nature like that. So it's going to still kind of, like I said, it's still slow moving. I think people are still trying to adapt the right way. But
it's a few people are faking the funk, because they have if you have a vaccine and you can be inside, outside, you don't have the social distance. And I can already imagine people being like, I got the vaccine. No, you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
The vaccine,
how are you going to enforce that?
Right.
And
you
then
can't.
you have retail stores that are saying,
shut up, son.
You got retail stores saying that they're not going to ask people
they can't do that,
whether or not they can't really, right? So that's the thing. They're on the honor system, but
honor system.
They could though, if you think about it, right? In a lot of places, right? If you go into a club, you have to show your ID, right? So they have to find a way how club do, like in order to get in here, you got to show
bro.
But everything can be everything can
be serious.
Right. Everything can be finagled.
I'm not privy. I'm just saying there got to be some type of parallel where you could do that.
In a digital space, everything can be finagled. You can doctor up like some
papers.
Some documents. But I just wanted to just pick your brain on it for a second. But pivoting for something possibly detrimental and life changing, going to my man. CEO got some news you want to share with us, man? What's going on? What happened to you in the last 48 hours?
Forget that. How about the last 5 days, yo? So, first of all, I was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
I peeped.
Which, it was actually a nice place, and people are very polite. I was I was on edge coming from up north. Like, you think, the South is what it is. But I'll be honest with you, I saw more Confederate and Trump flags in Jackson, New Jersey than I did out there. Like literally driving through backwoods and everything, we probably seen about 4 or 5. I mean, you get your bumper stickers here and there, but like in Jackson, it was like ridiculous. But out in Gatlin, middle of nowhere, Tennessee, like everybody's nice. They all talk to you. It opens your eyes that like they might still not like us, but they're like, listen, we just having a conversation. I just don't want you to live next to me. Or like, I'm saying? Like, I just don't want you dating my kids. Like, They say brutally honest, they up front. So it was weird.
living in America.
Exactly, right on cue. And me and my dad did like this moonshine tasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we met a guy, I don't even remember his name, But if a Southern stereotype was one, like Jeff Foxworthy, how he used to be like, you might be a redneck.
Man. Right.
Yo, he was telling us a story like, we was trying. I gave my mom accidentally a coffee moonshine in her coffee. He said, this is exact words. He said, I gave my mama the wrong one. She drank that son of a bitch. And I was like, whoa. Yo, he said that son of a bitch. And I was like, yo, my dad looked at me and my dad started dying. Yo, he was like, the whole day my dad kept saying, that son of a bitch.
First of all, shout out to your dad. Your dad was looking fresh in that thing, man.
I took him to Jazz, you know.
Jazz, okay. Got him right.
To the side, you know. And then so we actually had a bear show up at our cabin, like a real
if we can for the visual aspect, I need to put the video here, the last slide on your Instagram post. If we can just put that right here for 2 seconds, that shit was hilarious. He was whispering like, it's a bear right there.
I was doing my National Geographic shit. Now
get to the important shit, man.
That's important stuff.
Okay.
I almost lost my life, so I might not have experienced the last 48 hours.
So no. Tell me, I heard in the clip that you said he robbed y'all for your Cheez-Its. How did the bear rob you for your Cheez-Its?
Okay. So the night before, I guess me or Darnell, shout out to my cousin Darnell, must have left the door unlocked of the car. It was closed, but it was unlocked. I didn't know these Negroes open doors, right? I didn't know.
Right.
So when we came outside in the morning to take out the trash, the back door was wide open. Like passenger back door. So I'm like, dang, but I'm like, yo, we ain't have nothing in the car. Then I was like, yo, my tablet. I'm like, damn, I got robbed. I left my tablet in there in the car because I was, for the airplane and stuff like that.
Right.
Tablet right there. Keys, like house key, everything was there. The only thing that's messed up, it was Cheez-Its all over the back. It was dirt on the seat. It was dirt on the seat, which nobody sat on dirt. And it was Tic Tacs, like the case was crushed and it wasn't open like properly, like somebody whatever. And then there was a paw print on the door handle, like nigga let himself in.
That's crazy.
Like, that's wild.
Yeah. So I was like, oh. And then later on that day, when Yogi and friends decided to come back, we realized that our cabin was near where the garbage dump was, where it's like 5 different garbage. So when you go there, it says, please make sure you lock it, lock this, it signs of bears, everything. Yo, we watched the bear climb in, grab the trash can. I mean, you grab the trash out the can and walk down into the woods and just start eating, like whatever. Like they're the next thing to human, next to like a monkey or like how they have like human, they could do human stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I was at the second floor, it wasn't really safe because they could climb.
Oh my God.
I was shook like a motherfucker. But anyway, so I made it home safe.
But you definitely made time to capture it.
Yeah, because I was far enough to where if he did climb, I had half a second to get in the door and close and lock it real quick.
Can you juke a bear? I know you still quick. I know you still play flag football. Can you juke a bear?
I did good yesterday too playing, but I don't think so, man. The knees my shit might
get don't fuck around and turn your Achilles while you trying to get away from the bear.
I don't want to try it. I'll tell you that. I want to find out. So that's what it was. And then the last 48 hours, your brother C.E. Zoe is now a homeowner. I closed on my
Congratulations, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Got the keys.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me give you one of these first, because you're gonna get another one of these. Just in case anybody ever wonder how much it costs to buy a home in New Jersey. Let me throw one more in there just in case you need to know.
Yeah, do it now because when they cash the check, it's gonna be empty. It's gonna go wah. The check is still pending right now, so look good.
Hey yo, but how's it feel? I know you just did it, but how does it feel, bro? You're a whole homeowner, bro. How do you feel, son?
Well, it's crazy because I told my wife like it was 3 things in my entire life that I had the same feeling for, which is odd because you usually don't. The first was when she was pregnant with my first child, and I said, damn, shit just got real.
Okay.
And then when I was standing in front of y'all two saying I do to her, and I was like, damn, shit just got real.
Can we pause for 2 seconds? I need to share this on the podcast. I always used to hear how dudes, I'm the possible of the 4 hubbies, right? So I always heard like, you know, when your wife walked down the aisle, it's like it's like a tearjerker. I'm like, bullshit. Ain't nobody about to cry at the altar, bro. I was up there. I wasn't even next to Zoe. I wasn't the closest to Zoe. When your wife walked down the aisle and they started playing whatever Undertaker bridal music.
Shout out to Pop Beelan. Cleveland's dad was playing it.
I was like, oh my God.
It just got real, right?
My knees got weak. I was like, I'm not even getting married.
I know.
I'm not even getting married. That shit was crazy.
Bro, like, yo, this nigga really about to do this shit, yo. I think Bar selfishly was like, damn, yo, my ride, road dog he about to leave. It's over.
No, you've been gone. You've been gone.
Yeah, true. I was out for a little bit.
That was crazy.
It felt the same way where I was like, damn, shit just got real. Like as I'm signing, you know, you had that awkward cheese where you smile, like
all my money.
Yeah, you don't know. It's like you're happy or sad.
You're officially a whole adult now. You're married with kids, and
facts.
All those responsibilities, man. It's a beautiful thing.
I'm just in my 30s. I ain't got no kids or a house or married. God damn. But how did the girls feel about it?
Oh, they was hyped. They was running all crazy, talking about this. They was playing, you know how we used to play That's My Car?
Yeah.
Like, this my room.
That's my room.
This mine. And I'm going to have this here. And I'm like, all right. I'm glad y'all.
Who paying for that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now you're gonna be full. What's his name from what's his name? Julius from Everybody Hates Chris.
Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to be just like
Turn
my dad.
Turn the lights off, boy.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to Money Mitch for not turning the heat on.
Cause I put the PSC&G. We connected that today, and then we was over there like 6:00, and everybody was walking. I'm like, we active. Y'all better turn them lights off. This shit live.
What you thought?
Right.
Word up.
That's cool.
What's up, though, bro. Congratulations, man.
Congrats,
that's a beautiful
bro.
thing.
Appreciate it.
Congrats.
I know you feel good about it, man. I'm happy for you. I know it's been a journey.
Yes.
I just, I'm happy that you got to this point, man. You showed a lot of perseverance, as you always do. So
yeah, how dope is that we can this is gonna live forever. Like the day that you bought your house, we recorded a podcast, and it'll never not be on record. So
that's fire.
It is.
I appreciate y'all though. I appreciate y'all kept me going, man. Every time I thought I was gonna lose my mind, I called at least one of y'all. And y'all kept me on track, man. Y'all helped me stay the course. So
I'm so happy. The days of me booking hotels when I come to New Jersey are over.
We have a guest room. We have a guest room.
Right.
Man, I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Yeah, listen, Var laughing until I slide that bill under his at 11 o'clock. Checkout is at 11. Nigga.
Boom, like the Marriott. Okay.
Your Uber to the flight is outside.
I pay for groceries. I got all the food this weekend.
That just means you had a home 2 suites. That's all. They got the kitchen in the inside.
That's true. Like, hold on, Tiffany, you paying your own way. This shit I pay mine. You got to pay yours. Quickly, my weekend was dope. Tiff's sister got married and she came back home to kind of show her husband the area. So we had a little situation, like a celebration at her brother's house, and it was super dope. It was the first time that I had been around more than 10 people, and everybody was just happy as fuck. So drinks was flowing, everybody was dancing. It was a good time, and I was I had a moment oh, this shit feels normal. So this shit feels like old times, so to speak. You know what I mean? Then on Sunday, she has an uncle that lives nearby, and him and his wife took us out to dinner. So the last weekend I've just been spending with her and her family, just kicking it. You know what I mean? Just getting out, getting a chance to do some real human things versus being in the crib watching Netflix all day. So I appreciated this weekend. Got outside again and got some fresh air and seen some people. So
I know that felt great, man. To be outside of those 4 walls, out and about, chilling with people, especially when the energy is right. I know that was dope.
Right. I ain't gonna lie. When I was a kid, I used to tell Zoe this all the time too. I was like, why does a family matter when you marry? Why does a family matter? Why does a person that you want to marry family matter at all? And
you saw me get married.
But no, the conversations we had about that, I was like, okay, but obviously I'm not married, but getting a chance to know her family and to be accepted and shit is it's a different experience. So I do appreciate that.
Hey yo, but they gotta make sure they accept it too. Okay.
Oh no, for sure.
No,
for sure.
like, because we gotta accept them. Because one of the people, I'm not gonna say on this podcast crew, had an event in which they thought that the other family thought that the person, their relative, was the one getting the treat or
right.
that. So my mom had to almost come out of pocket like
Mm-hmm. Right,
like,
right.
You getting the gift too. Okay, we good. All right, like, so you already know, like, make sure.
Right, that's a fact.
It's a two-way street.
That's a fact. I was thinking like, all right, it's been 2 years since I graduated grad school, and then I was looking at a picture and I was like, oh, I ain't seen my dad ain't been here in a minute. I'm like, I gotta get my dad out here. Then I was like, oh, Father's Day is coming, so I'm gonna fly my dad out here for Father's Day. So dude,
that's funny because that came up on like my Facebook memory, like
from shit, because it was yesterday was the 2 years. So
shoot.
So it's pretty dope. So I'm gonna fly my dad out here for Father's Day so we can see the life I'm living, which is always pretty cool. But to that end, what your mom was speaking about, it's safe to say that the person who thought that they were just surprised, they didn't know who we were. They didn't know what we represent. They didn't know who our crew is. And that's what we're going to be describing today. Y'all have been listening to us for 44 episodes. And there are some things about us that you probably just don't know. Right. We can go with Obama. Obama's better.
Oh, that's dope.
My bad. I was thinking sports guy, but yeah, I like the Obama better. My bad.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
I just said something blasphemous.
It's Cleveland. Cleveland said it. I ain't gonna take it, Sean. But yeah, so this episode is going to be successful if you learn a little bit about who we are, why we are the way we are, how we came to be. And this episode, we're just gonna get to know us. We appreciate all the love thus far. It's crazy to think we're at 44 weeks. I'm gonna say that until forever, but yeah, and obviously we are the Juxtaposition podcast. We are here to amplify the voice of the modern Black man. So with that said, let's start with good brother CEO. I just want to, because this is going to be a collection of random questions, and if you have anything to offer on top of that, fellas, just please feel free to add on. But I'm interested to know what makes you lame, Alonzo.
What makes me lame?
What makes you lame? Because I think that, first of all, you're a fan favorite. Everybody think you're funny. Your timing is on point. It's always, Alonzo's so great. But what makes you lame? Like, what do you trash at?
Well, as a person with high confidence, and we had that episode, Confidence and Cocky, I would probably naturally say I'm not. But to be honest, I would say what makes me lame is like although some people view me as an a-hole, I think sometimes when I care about people, I could be a pushover. Like the people that I care about, I just let them like rock because I would want them to do like if I needed it or wanted something, right?
Right.
But they're not thinking like that. They're just getting what they need, keeping it pushing. I think about the other person like, damn, and then I'll be mad as hell at myself, like, yo, why I let myself do that? Or why I ain't do that? Like, and sometimes I feel like I be too nice or trying to be too professional, even with my business.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll be so worried about relationship building and doing the right thing because I love people and I hate people at the same time. So like,
that's
it's
a
the
good
weirdest
way of putting it.
Yeah, like I am a walking people juxtaposition, right? Like,
Kendrick Lamar said antisocial extrovert, right? I
think that's me. There you go. Right. So because of that, like I even to close certain deals, I feel like I be trying to, I can, but then sometimes I'll be like, damn. So like I got to call for reinforcements. You know what I mean? Like I need help.
Right. It's like, these niggas and took my kindness for weakness. And all right.
Yeah. And that's
got to call accounts receivable. Like, all right, accounts receivable.
I think that's my biggest problem where I'm lame and I'm like, yo, why am I like, I'm so nice to where people are like, maybe that combined with being light skinned, they just feel like they can F with me, but you know what I mean?
The funny thing about that is that's probably one of your most redeemable qualities. You know what I mean? The fact that you're super loyal, which we cover all the time, but the fact that you also, you go hard for those that you love, son. And you giving chances, you actually hate yourself, which is more clear than anything. You'll make yourself more upset. And they're like, oh yeah, I owe you money?
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga from 3 years ago. What you talking about?
Zoe has old school values, yo. Zoe is like a young dude with old school values.
Mm-hmm.
Even his taste in music, like down to like what he has the girls watching. When I went to Jersey like a while ago, I was on my way to his house, and the girls was watching a show that they like to watch, and somebody mentioned like a Meteor Man on the show. So when they mentioned Meteor Man, Zoe was like, "Oh no, we turning this off. Y'all gotta watch Meteor Man now." He literally turned the girls' show off to make them watch a movie that they had no idea what the reference was to. That's like the old school values that Zoe brings to the table. So he's like a young dude with old man values, basically.
You got a young man's hairline too, so shout out to that because that would be trash.
I'm still here, even with the burn. I'm still good. My injury. All right. Well, now that y'all won't put me on spot, I want to ask my brother, the chef, as my in-laws say. The chef.
A couple of grapes sodas.
Yes. Yes. So I'm gonna ask the chef, right? I want to ask him, as I know the chef, he's very humble, right? He's a passive, reserved person, but what makes you proud?
That's a good question.
Oh, that's a great question. What makes me proud, outside of that is my resilience. A lot of people don't see like the worst of me at times. So, I deal with that and I handle that how I have to handle that. And in some ways, my life has always kind of given me like a lot of challenges. I've always been an underdog in all of my like journeys of trying to accomplish things. I got to a place where I got so used to being an underdog that it's pretty much to me one of the best places to be now because, it's like they just forget about you. Just kind of going through that and absorbing that. And I love everything about that space because at times, you get a lot of negativity, you get people telling you that you can't do it and they doubt you. And little do people know like how all of that just fuels me realistically.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I agree with Kev on that because hold on, Kev.
Hold on, I'm calling Cap on Kev, man. I would never ever see you as an underdog. You are like in first place all the time, bro.
Nah, I don't know, bro. I've been through like a lot of challenges. Like I've always kind of had to like prove myself, bro. Like, and maybe it's to the extent of because I don't do a lot of talking, so then it gets undervalued because I don't have that personality like that.
Right.
But
you're the silent killer you always have been. You ain't got to say much.
But that's what I was gonna say, bro. I was gonna give him his flowers now. Like, yo,
yeah, my fault.
Like, I was gonna say that. I said, yo, and Kev, you took the words, is undervalued because people with my personality just always somewhere people's looking, but they never see that the people who are doing the inner workings and hidden mechanisms, so to speak, right? So Kev, he does that, and with us, we know how great he is, right?
Right.
But we don't see the stuff that he experiences until he tell us that. I'm like, yo, they didn't think you could do that, or like what they was thinking. Kev, no, he didn't tell me. So I'm like, what the hell was they thinking about? Like, how crazy is that? Like, but because we know him, we know how. If you tell him he can't do something, he'll go out his way to prove to you that he can do it, make it work, and that it is the right thing to do. So like, he'll do all of the above, and then you be sitting there stuck like, and it was right. Like,
you know what's funny about that, Zoe? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cleveland.
No. I was just gonna say it's funny how like everybody we see people through our own perspectives, and they see themselves through another perspective. Like we see Kev as like, dag, like every time we turn around, I feel like Kev got a win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dag, you just did that, or whatever it is, like whatever it is that he's doing. But like, we
be chill, like, yo, I just saved the world.
Like it's nothing. Like I just
saved the world.
I was just playing poker with Michael Jordan and them the other day. Like,
I left my cape.
That out?
I left my cape at the crib though, so I just wanted to pull up.
That's what I'm saying. But like we see Kev through that perspective, he sees himself through another lens. And I think maybe that's part of like what makes him humble as well. I guess that balance. Right. Like, you know what I mean? You have those successes, but then it's like you kind of see yourself through another perspective that maybe that's what keeps you humble. I don't know if that's healthy or whatever. I'm just an observation.
Yeah, I would say, exposure had a lot to do with that. But, in the same light, I will bounce that question back to you, Zoe, and asking you, like, who do you think is the greatest? You know, like who do you feel like is the greatest person in your eyes?
That's a tough one, bro.
It doesn't have to be superhero. It could be a superhero. It could be a
Nah, I'm not gonna
little,
go superhero because I would have to say I have a. Can I say a tie?
You could put people together.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say it's gonna sound super weird. It's like a 3-way tie, right? What these people did, and I didn't witness all of what they did, but I was either a result of and a part of it. So I would say my mom and my dad.
Sure.
And I mean, y'all who know me know like the inside, you know what I mean? And like where things came from, you know, who stepped up, you know what I mean, who stepped in. So to me, like my mom for making certain sacrifices that a lot of people would not have made or would have on paper looked like a bad idea, but then it actually was probably the greatest idea ever. And
your mom and dad are goats for sure.
Yeah, and then my dad, because like they work together so crazy, like so you know that's my guy. You know what I mean, that's we got a thing this week. We're like, yo, wingman, like that's my dad's my wingman. So it's like I would say he's definitely in my a Mount Rushmore of greatest people because I can't just say one solely because different things molded me. And then for number 3, my wife. And that's because
come on, man.
Nah, listen.
Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because like I joke a lot. She thinks she halfway listens to the podcast. She thinks all I do is talk shit about her, but I don't. Right? I joke, but I think sometimes she be mad because sometimes the shoe be fitting. So I'll be like, hey, wear it. But I don't really be talking about her, right? But in all seriousness, like I watched her do so many different things and accomplish that's like coming from where she's from, you know, and her upbringing, neighborhood, parents. Like she's the only person in her family to graduate college. Like
talk about it.
That's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because my family on the other end got masters, and my mother graduated college. My dad went to college. My cousins got masters. My aunts got doctorates. You know what I mean? So education is a big thing in my family. So it's like you look crazy if you don't at least get the 4-year degree. You know what I mean? But with her, that was like an achievement because them, you know, you just graduate high school, however, even GED, and go get a job. So like I said, I think she's definitely like a number 3 right there because
that's a strong 3 though.
Yeah, I say 1 and 2 because I can't like it's hard to. I mean, my wife should go 1 because I'm weird, but my parents without that I wouldn't have never been the person she would have liked to marry. You know what I mean? Sure. Without that, but I would say her.
Yeah, for sure.
I give her flowers. I know it's 4 Mount Rushmore, but I don't necessarily have.
Are you good with 3?
Now 3 is where you want to stop at. Yeah,
you good.
Top 3.
Yeah, don't force it. Don't force
it.
I
love it, bro. I appreciate you for really expressing that, and gotta shout your parents out because they really are great examples of what married couples should be. And I've been fortunate to be exposed to that, right? And that goes along with saying with, you know, when you expose yourself to the things that you want for yourself, it goes back to saying, you know, like certain things are going to be more challenges because it's not you. You have to adapt and change your ways to fit into, you know, to grow yourself. It's always a constant grind, right? Like you and yourself is a constant grind. So I appreciate your family and your mom and your dad because they really put in the light that it's possible, that this is very possible. This is something that, this is what it should look like, you know, and guys giving their flowers on that. So yeah, for sure.
Nah, that's dope. You know, because like I feel like when I look at Zoe's parents, I think I see it when I look at my parents as well, is like you have these Black couples that have been together for a very long time and they're like the ultimate expression of what a loving relationship should look like. You know what I mean? It's like when people say like, you know what I mean? It's hard to choose just one. And I saw where there was coming from. It's hard to choose just one person that has influenced you the most because these are all people who have made an impact on you in some way, shape, or form. And I'm just going to pivot just a little bit because I was thinking about just my life moments that have impacted me the most. And one thing I remember, and I know Var remembers this too, in terms of like things that like have had like some kind of like ultimate impact on us. Me and Var were going through something at the very same time.
Oh my God, right.
I was working at a paint store and Var was coming to the paint store like every day while we were struggling with this thing. And it was so funny. I was employed, but I was definitely underemployed. But yo, one of the dudes I worked with at that store used to do this thing and it used to annoy me. He used to always give an answer like he gave the ultimate answer. Like if you ask him like, yo, what's your favorite cheesesteak? He'd be like, 2 words, Tony Luke's, right? Mad dramatic. But I want to ask Var a question like about himself because this season you've really been putting us in a position to kind of share our thoughts. But I want to learn a little bit more about you. I want our listeners to learn a little bit more about you. If you had to describe yourself in 2 words and give like the ultimate answer, so to speak, what would be 2 words that described you?
2 words, fucking dope. If I had to think about it, I would say confident and creative. I think a lot of the things that help me to excel can be fit into those boxes. You can put resilience and grit, all that shit, but I feel like as Black people, that's in us. Yeah. You just as crispy as me, nigga. But confidence is something that I've had the pleasure of developing alongside you gentlemen, where, you know, y'all have instilled confidence in me over the years that I don't even know if I even knew I had the ability to navigate. The creative is always something I'm trying to find a creative way to navigate each situation. You can put me in, if you put me in a box, I'm going to get the fuck out of it somehow, somewhere. You're not going to know how I did it, but I'm going to show you how. And then it's going to be like, how did that happen? So I would say confident and creative.
I've seen a transition in you though that I want to call out and pull out. Like, cause I think the creativity, like when you get into survival mode, you get creative, right? Like I think everybody has had times where you've looked in the refrigerator and you just figured something out. Like, you know, you just figured it out and made it work, and somehow something tastes good out of that. And I think that survival mode kind of produces a creativity, like when you're in that survival mode. But you transition, like, you know how people say you go from surviving to thriving. And I've literally seen you do that, because creativity is like, I'm going to take what I have and I'm going to make the most of what I have. But when you start to thrive, you're creating things that weren't there in the first place. Like you're being innovative. So I'm seeing your innovation, like with the clothing lines and things of that nature. Like I'm really seeing that in you. So you really have made that transition well from like surviving to thriving.
Listen, I watched Var transition.
But I've seen it.
I watched Var transition from only drinking fruit punch and pink lemonade and finally drinking some water.
He never would.
This nigga never drank water. I used to be like, yo, you're gonna die if you don't drink water.
You're the most in shape, unhealthy athlete I've ever seen.
He was like Ocho Cinco, like McDonald's. What are you talking about?
Like, how you drink Fruit Works?
Back in those days when I used to be meeting you at your job, all I ate was McDonald's. That was it. That's all I could afford. That was all that I could afford. Oh man,
was it double cheeseburger, no pickles?
Yep.
Sprite, light ice,
no fries, Sprite, no ice. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I know his order. It ain't even for me.
Years and years ago.
Yeah.
But to that end, thank you for that, Cleveland. I appreciate that. But I want to get the question right back to you. Not the same question, but I'm gonna give you a curveball. Somebody who is not your dad, who do you admire? Because I know you're gonna go to your dad. I know it. I know it.
I will go to his dad too. Shoot.
Facts.
Oh man.
Shout out Pop Cleve.
Dag, someone who is not my dad, and who do I admire?
TD Jakes.
Man. Honestly, man, I think honestly, I would go with TD Jakes' daughter. I'll go with Sarita Jakes, to be honest. Even though
put us on. I don't even know who she is.
Yo, so Sarita Jakes is
she got a mixtape?
TD Jakes' daughter. She doesn't have a mixtape, but she has a podcast. She has a podcast. It's called Woman Evolve. Yo, she's an amazing person. Yo, so she is someone who is TD Jakes' daughter. So she's kind of like had to come up in that spotlight. She had a child when she was 13 years old.
Whoa, as TD Jake's daughter.
As TD Jake's daughter, had a child at 13 years old, and she is
that's
just
a deep voice of disappointment.
But you know what? What she said and what he communicated to is that his disappointment wasn't so much in her having a child. He was disappointed in himself that he didn't see that she was like kind of functioning in a space where he wasn't unaware of. But then he was also disappointed on what she was going to miss out on because she was 13 with a child. So it wasn't necessarily in her, but like her story is just amazing. And she's a super, super intelligent, anointed person who had to grow up in the spotlight with a young child, with a father who's TD Jakes. And yet her Breakfast Club interview is so dope. Like she has a way of talking to people and ministering to people, but it's like talking. It don't seem like she's preaching. She's just talking. Yo, so that's one person that I really admire. Anytime like she has something new out, I'm listening to it. She just dropped a book. I'm going to get the book too. It's called.
All right. How about somebody you know?
Somebody I know that I admire. That's not my dad. I'm going to put my parents in there because I usually group.
All right.
But somebody I know that I admire. Oh man. You know what? I'm going to go with my cousin Craig. So
our guy. Shout out to Craig.
Guy. Yo, Craig is like a Kev in that he makes so many moves without saying anything, and he's so giving. Yo, so when I told him that I wanted to start recording videos in a better quality, he gave me 2 cameras. He gave me 2 nice cameras, a Canon T3i and another joint. He gave me a computer, he gave me a keyboard, he gave me a monitor, and it had the editing software on there. Like that's how giving he is.
Sheesh.
So and he wrote a children's book, or a series of children's book on mental health in the Black community, illustrated books, and he's working with Children's Hospital on a counseling things. I don't know what it is exactly, but he's a counselor with Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And he does all of this on the low without posting about it, without like being grandiose. So that's definitely a person that I admire for sure.
Shout out to Craig, man. Also, let us, if you got a chance to listen to our episode where we actually were in person, I was at Craig's studio. That was Craig's equipment. Shout out to Craig, man.
Definitely had a good time with Craig. Definitely want to appreciate his hospitality. Appreciate the food.
Facts.
Just the love, man. And I really appreciate his energy, man. I can tell he's one of those people that really just go hard for people that he care about. And
that's true.
Can I say something real quick? We got real selfless. This is supposed to be about us if we understand. Like, I want y'all to talk more about yourselves. I know that was a question about who you admire. That's my fault. I should have asked more question about who you are. But let's get into who we are so people can understand and learn about us. So, Zoe, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Well, forget about who I am. I really want to ask Kev a question.
What you got?
Because Kev be quiet over here, so we need to get him talking. Everybody know I be talking my smack, so... Yeah, where I be trying, like some days I go like
that's that old
soul.
Yeah,
that's that old soul.
And you know what? It's the old soul mixed with the bipolar in me, because I be like, I don't want to curse, so I'll say that, and then 2 seconds I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. I wild out. My bad. All right, so this question, I'm gonna lighten it up since we got real serious.
We did,
and I'm just giving it a little balance. I'm a Libra. Shout out to Libras, right? One gotta go, Kev. One gotta go. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Count Chocula, or Fruit Loops. Cut you off guard with that one.
Yeah, you did.
Hold on. Is this which Kev is this? Is this like kid Kev or like we eat Brussels sprouts all the time, Kev? That's the question. You got it. Which one is it?
Well, Brussels sprouts, Kev got to eat this regardless, because this is all that's left. So what?
Okay,
what's left?
No, actually, I mean, if you see, you should have stuck with VAR on this one.
He about to be like cream of wheat, oatmeal, or some wild shit.
No, it's called Ancient Grains, yo, and it's probably one of the healthiest cereals that's out. It's probiotic in nature. It's granola with like almonds.
Told you.
the chia seeds, and it comes in a dope ass bag. I should go grab one and show y'all, but
Kev introduced me to quinoa, chia
I gotta put
seeds.
y'all on. I gotta put y'all on.
Yo, he couldn't help himself. Yo, he's like, nah, I should show you. Nah, matter of fact, let me go and get it. Quinoa.
Yo, but
First of all, I hate how quinoa is spelled.
What's this,
Yeah, it
ancient
ain't
oats?
spelled nothing.
I know.
It ain't
It's
spelled nothing like it look.
quinoa looked like a girl that I went to school with. Quinoa.
I know his honey buns and oats was the healthiest joint.
They're not paying us. As a
Right.
sponsor,
Oh, yeah, word
so
up.
we're not gonna
Come
really
on,
like go
come on,
hard.
Costco. What's good?
But yeah, you already see the vibes, right? But it's it, man. It's lit. It's
You put milk with that?
I'm about to ask you. You put almond milk with that?
Milk?
and macadamia nut if it's available.
Macadamia
Okay.
milk?
Nut milk, yeah, it's popping.
Oh, I never heard. I never had
Yeah,
that.
try it. You like the macadamia oatmeal cookies, like so the nut.
Oh yeah,
itself,
I do. Okay.
Just make it into milk.
Ah.
Fire goes
Learn
with
some new
that.
shit.
They cut my bananas up, throw that in there. Cut some
Yo, I ain't gonna
blueberries,
lie
throw
to
that
you,
in
yo.
there.
We need to have Kev's cooking corner. That's what we need
Time
on
out,
the
time out. I'm
pod.
about to
Right.
get to that. I'm about to go. So right, we went on this trip to the Poconos back, not the first one, the adult one where we all like in relationships,
Right.
real ones.
The one y'all left me out of. But go ahead.
Yeah. Although I went to the
Oh,
Poconos
yeah, you
with
was-
the same
sorry.
person, so I could talk my shit. But anyway, but
That was 3 girls ago for me. That's crazy.
Who knew, right? Who knew? But anyway, so Kev, we had breakfast and everybody made all this breakfast stuff. And Kev made, I don't know it was something with yogurt. I think it had the berries in it and it had like
Acai bowl.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's what he made. I knew it was something, but I never had it. I was looking at it kind of funky, like, all right, Kev, you getting a little, you want me to
It's
eat
like
these
a-
wood chips?
It's like a bowl smoothie.
Yeah,
it
I'm
is,
like,
really.
I'm not
I
trying to
got
eat these
better at
wood
making
chips,
it.
Kev. But I'm like, yo, this shit kind of good.
I never heard of an acai bowl till I was with Kev and your wife now. Like I remember when I was like, what is this?
I didn't even know that's how you pronounce it.
It's good. So, but I will entertain for right now. I needed that moment. I'm probably gonna go cinnamon. I gotta go, right? I'm gonna go Count Chocula and Fruit Loops gotta go. Generally, I don't eat any cereals with a cartoon character currently. Respectively.
Yo, hold on. I need context, bro. Why?
Where did that
Why
come
is
from?
that?
He
He
must
said
be
it's so
traumatized.
casual. Like y'all know that I don't eat cartoons when you stick cereal with cartoons on. Y'all know that.
Nah, that
Right?
was me being funny. But
Okay.
generally, I mean, really, like until they come out with a version that's like that cater to the kids that are healthy in nature. I mean, there's a lot of sugar in those. If you look at the
Right.
box, it's gonna say sugar is gonna be the first thing or the second thing. But yeah, let me get off that box. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Count Chocula, Fruit Loops, or one gotta go. So yeah, I'm gonna go Count Chocula, believe it or not.
Yeah,
I like
get that
chocolate.
shit out of here. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, it's
I don't even like.
cannibalism, isn't it?
I don't even like him. Shut up. Shut up. We won't
Nah,
talk about you
Fruit
eating
Loops gotta
corn
go.
pops.
I
Eat corn
prefer
pops all you
honeycomb.
want.
Thank you, honeycomb.
Zoe used to kill them golden Oreos back in the day.
Oh,
I got
did.
photo
When they
proof.
first dropped, yo, them shits was fire.
Hold on, I did too. That Jungle Fever.
Shut up, man. You stupid.
But yeah, is that was a good question. I appreciate that comic relief on that. In a moment to express, who I am in that setting, right? Like, I pretty much I try to eat as healthy as I can, even the things that I really enjoy. When I cracked this code, my life changed, right? When this was like, because that's something we just enjoy eating at pastime. It's like cereal is a pastime snack. It's just so I'm just like, once I found something that kind of like works with my lifestyle, it just makes sense. And now I really, really am excited about it. I'm hooked to that one. Unfortunately, until they can figure out a way to write me a check. But
Right.
Yo, let's put it in the air,
Nah.
yo. You do that. That's what you do.
yeah, that might be a thing. We might have
Costco,
to,
come holla at us. We can rock the Kirkland brand like it's nothing. It's not a
we
big
might
deal.
we might figure something out for sure.
Yeah, Cleveland
But,
like Frank Kirkland. Like we already there.
Frank
Kirkland. Frank Kirkland.
Okay, so this is a good one, right? So asking me what my cereal, I want to ask Var a question real quick. I want to try to kick it to Var. What's one food that you would never share? Because Var low key,
Everything he's stingy.
so Var low key don't like sharing. Low,
Nigga
you don't like
selfish.
sharing, right? That's not really like Var's thing. by
That's
the way.
crazy. Y'all be getting
He'll sacrifice though. Like Var will sacrifice. but he won't share. If that makes sense.
Hey, dude,
Like,
I get
He'll
it.
buy
100%.
he'll buy you your own. Like, I'll buy you your own. Don't come
Yo,
over
you
here
get your
trying
own
to share.
fries. I'm gonna get you some fries, but you can get your own fries. These are for me.
Yo, this is wild but accurate.
That you will never share.
I'm not sharing pizza, man. Like if I buy a personal pizza, that is for me, man. Like don't be asking for my pizza.
Like,
I can't
got,
say
like 3 slices. Like no one can come up to you. But, can I
this
get
me,
one?
fam. This
You
me.
don't feel like,
Nah, that's all me.
Nah, we can. Like I said, I'll get you yours, but like no, like that's not what's going down. And it's a couple of things. I was going to start by saying fries, but I break Tiff off for fries before I even eat my own.
It don't count when it's your girl. We talk about your mans and them because you'll get tight with your mans and like, yo, don't touch my shit.
Oh yeah, in that case, I ain't sharing fries either. I don't know where your hands been, nigga. I know you got a spouse, but I don't know where those hands have been, sir.
Facts.
I'm not sharing. I'm not sharing fries or pizza. And so you remember back in the day, a certain brother used to always ask,
"Can I have some?"
There was 4 scoops of anything left, 4 forkfuls of anything left, and he want 25% of my last forkfuls.
No. Yo, he want to find your feet and he ain't find nothing.
It's like, yo, my man, what are you doing? Like, leave me alone. But when you ask for his shit, it's just like he got his shit in a little in the headlock.
He got the prison lock. The prison lock. Like, let me eat my shit real quick.
Yeah, it'd be crazy like that. Zoe, I'm gonna give it back to you. Okay. So we asked you before, like, who's the greatest in your eyes? But I want to ask you, because of somebody who just purchased a home, what does legacy mean to you?
Ooh, a legacy means a lot to me. Unless you're trying to pledge and you tell me you legacy, I don't really care about all that. Fuck out of here. You get it too. But it's everything, because like what people say is like when you leave this earth, you leave 2 things behind. You leave
your balls and your word. Oh, my fault.
Oh yeah, that too. You leave your credit, like your bills, and who you were as a person, which some would say is legacy. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So
your reputation.
Yeah. So I would put that over the bills, because there's always a way around not paying somebody, but ain't a way around.
I don't know if you would say that about people that owe you.
Right.
They trying it, but
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that to me, but for the regular bill people.
But I remember Zoe, you used to say in college, you didn't want any regrets. So does that still stand with you, and does that relate to legacy in any way?
100%, because that kind of motivates me to do certain things a certain way, or to just do them, period. Because you ever have a I don't even know how to say this, but it's like
that's cool.
I'm about to do a guy, or like a friend,
right.
I'm about to,
but
nothing ever happens.
Right.
Nothing ever.
Right.
So I never wanted to be that dude. I never wanted to be like, I'm like, when I say I'm gonna do something, that's part of my legacy. Like, everything he said he was gonna do, he went and did it. Like, I don't got no timeline on it, but I'm gonna get it done. And then that leads to no regrets, because I think things thoroughly in a fast amount of time, to where I don't have to second guess myself or think maybe, you know what I mean? I would say 90% of the time, maybe 95, I think it thoroughly within 2.5 seconds about 5 times. Y'all know my brain races fast.
Right.
I would think, and then I make the decision. And then I also, part of it kind of goes with the first question, is like, I don't want my, like, I guess a weakness or whatever. I don't want people to think certain things about me. So that's why legacy is important to me too. It's like, like, dang, this nigga was this, or he was that.
Right. It matters. It matters. And especially because you have daughters, you want them to say when they're 25, like, my dad was this and that. And I even be thinking about, you ever think about how life was in the 60s, and you see these black and white pictures, and you was like, would I be on the front lines? And it's like, you want to say you would be there, but you don't actually know. But now we're in this space, and like, what are we doing? So for y'all to have kids, it's like your daughters may ask you, Dad, what was you doing in 2016 when so-and-so got killed? What was you doing in 2020 when George Floyd got killed? Like, where was you at? And you have to have an answer for real about, like, how did you contribute to the cause? That's what I think about when I think about legacy, stuff like that.
Absolutely. Since we're on the legacy topic, right? I want to ask Cleveland a question, right? So if you read an article about yourself yourself 10 years from now, what would you want the headline to say?
Them glasses improved.
Yeah. There you go. Capture everything. That's all that matters.
You got the fogless joints.
His glasses be floating, boy.
I'm telling you. Dang, man. Listen, I think I want the headline to just be something selfless. I think that's what I really want it to be. I want it to be about my impact on other people. So I can't give verbatim what I want it to say, but I just want the headline to be reflective of the fact that my life impacted other people's lives in a positive way. In a positive way, specifically.
Okay. That's it? What how selfless? What would it be? You ain't give us no headline.
Well, listen, I think honestly, I'm getting more and more clear about what I'm on this earth to do. And I think what I'm on this earth to do and to try to help resolve is the thing that I've struggled with the most, which is helping people understand their value. I think I've literally, if I can like put everything that has happened in my life that has been negative, it's all stemmed from the fact that I didn't value myself and what I had and who I was. And I think the more you know about yourself, the less likely you are to allow aspects of yourself to be used by people who don't deserve it.
You know you're doing that right now, right? You know you're not valuing yourself because we asked you a question about what you would have on your headline, and you talk about what you're doing for everybody else. What would your headline say, Cleveland?
That's what matters. Does what? That's what matters. That's what matters.
You know what's
that's
going
what
on?
This to me.
Say it now.
Yeah, he needs some motivational music.
Come on, man.
Nah, man. Honestly, that's what matters to me. I think. All right, so let's say I'm gonna put it in 3 buckets. I'm gonna say the first bucket is I want my kids to be people who are well-to-do. I don't even know what that looks like for them, but just healthy, impactful, productive children, whatever that looks like for them. And then honestly, man, I think that's when you think about the thing that you would do every day for free, right? Like when you think about what that thing is, like I know that what I want to do every day for free may lead to maybe some type of financial gain, but really the goal of it is to ensure that people aren't doing what I did. Here's why that's so important to me. So many people mistreat other people because of the lack of value that they put on themselves. Like when you don't like yourself, you treat everything like crap. You treat people like crap. You treat your stuff like crap. And I think that is at the root of so much of what we're seeing nowadays. Like people say like, keep your son out of jail, keep your daughter off the pole. Right. But like that all stems from values, right? And the value that they have within themselves. Well, it can. Like we live in America and
anything can happen. I'm going to solve it for you. Here you go. Zoe, you ready? Here's Cleveland's headline. Clevepak Chopra. What a guy. What a guy. Anything can fall under that. What a guy. What a guy. It's just a collection of people just giving the stories about Cleveland, how he pulled over on the side of the road and like fixed their tire for him and shit. Cleveland fixed my marriage as well. He did everything that you could possibly want him to do. It's just a great person. Clevepak Chopra. Thank you, brother.
I got a question for you now, Bar.
Oh man.
I got a question. We talked about what food you don't like to share. So you don't like to share your personal pizza at all, period. You don't like to share fries unless it's with your lady. I get it.
Right.
But what is your biggest pet peeve? What is the thing that just gets on your nerves?
Oh, this is easy.
It could
chewing.
Be petty.
Oh, I know that.
I only look, this is going to sound controversial. I only like mouth noises during fellatio. Don't chew in my ear.
Can that be a
Don't chew in my ear. If I hear, oh my God, I want to kill somebody. Why are you chewing fries like that? Why are you sucking fries? Why are you eating this way? Like, I don't want to hear nobody smacking.
No, like, you know what? I gotta add to the list of pet peeves for this one, yo. But yo, you know what my pet peeve is? I hate when people misuse words, but they're so close. If they're far, I can tolerate it. But when they're so close, like if they say Pacific, yo, like if they say Pacifically, I'm like, you were so close. You were so close.
But you hate that?
I hate it when they're close. Only when they're close. Or like when they say, I'm sorry for your lost, like LOST. It's like, you was almost there. Like
yo, I can't understand. And turn on the closed captioning. It's closed. Captioning, miss. I'm gonna need you to get that right. You get clothes from Old Navy. This is closed.
I'm telling you, that's my pet peeve.
Yo, but real talk though, I've seen Var get upset at some people because they was chewing a little loud.
Man, shout out to our guy. Y'all know who he is. He chew like a fish tank. He sound like a fish tank. Like, yo, how is your mouth doing that, bro? Like, what mechanisms are inside?
The thing is, I think what bothered me more, it didn't match with the food. Like the sound didn't match with you.
Man. He's trying to get the flavor out.
If it's a now and later,
trying to get the flavor.
If it's a now and later, if it's a Jolly Rancher, but yo, you eat mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's a quiet ass food, yo. How you make
happening?
noise on a quiet food? Like,
How we get here, yo? What you thinking about? Are you considerate?
Yeah, word up.
You're a good friend because you could allow him to walk this earth thinking that's okay, and he will pull up on someone else thinking that he's not doing it because you don't think you're doing it. So I guess it's a subconscious thing, and it's just like, let him know about himself. So
maybe that's how he enjoy. Maybe that's how he enjoys his food. Like, because
some people,
you know what I mean. You know how some people hum. Yeah, some people
bro,
dance.
You can't do that, bro.
I ain't gotta be there for you to enjoy it.
People will talk about you. Like, people will talk about you.
That's the truth. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get and play the devil's advocate here. That's how.
I don't want to say
guy trying to play devil's advocate. Ain't that some shit?
Look at that. Hold on. I don't know if you're able to say devil's advocate, brother.
I know, right? Somebody throw some salt over his shoulder and burn some sage.
I'm gonna make a pivot. I'm gonna make a pivot over to Kev and ask you, Kev. This might be an easy question for you, but the question I have is, what's one thing that you do best with the least amount of effort?
Oh, that's a good question. Being myself.
I'll pull up like me. That's me.
And I love it now. Unapologetically. It's interesting, man. Like I got some time to like realize and reflect on some things. And I went, a lot of people don't know, like I went to 2 different schools. So I went to HBCU as like my first experience. This is a person who doesn't have any brothers and sisters, that was older than him, that was leading the way and leading the torch or giving any guidance on what that should look like and feel like. I got really blessed to play a sport that I just thought was just fun. Thought it was just a fun thing to do. And again, I didn't really have too much guidance. I didn't have no close friends. I played at that kind of level, and I didn't really like get a chance to really like just learn or prepare, I think, myself for like what I was gonna be doing or dealing with away from home. And then my father was diagnosed with diabetes right when I was away, and that's when that was like a wow moment. And I think I was in depression stage. I think I was like depressed. I was really depressed. If there was any depressing point in my life, that was 1 or 2.
This is when you came back to Jersey?
So I came back because I was being depressed. It was affecting me, who my person, who I was. I wasn't happy, and then my dad just not being who he was. The smartest thing I think I thought I did was to go to my happy place, and I got a chance to really excel and meet some really good people, and and that was the thing. So I really got into the nutrition and exercise thing because I was like just researching about what causes diabetes and what kind of like brought that out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Most people never. I would honestly tell you all, this is probably like the first time I actually brought that into light. But that's kind of like what pushed me into personal training and then really getting into sport stuff. And
I never knew that. Yo, people, I've known Kev for 15 years, bro. I've never heard this story. Thanks for sharing. That's crazy.
This is brand new.
That all led up to where we are, in terms of coming back for that reason, learning about it, doing all that I could to prevent it from happening or fixing it. One thing led to another. So I got to give myself that. I think that like when I look back and I reflect on the journey that I kind of went through, everything kind of like, I definitely got to give myself that, but I definitely give it to God for sure. Because I felt like the whole way I knew he was talking to me and I knew he was guiding me and I knew how crazy things might have looked from the perspective of other people. I knew what I was facing, dealing with, and I just was comfortable with whatever was going to come with that, and I encourage everyone to be themselves, and I really want to push this initiative in my mind where in a corporate setting, people of color could just be themselves. I feel like if we're all given that ability to be ourselves, then they're going to get 100% of who we are, and that's only going to drive their bottom line. But they got to make room for us.
You know what I love about that, Kev. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to forget this one point. You mentioned this a couple weeks ago about like when you meet a woman, like relax. You don't have to go so hard. Like let her lead you to the tribe, so to speak. And what you're saying about us being ourselves in corporate America makes me think about we come from a tribe. We are a tribe, right? And whenever somebody asks, like, "Oh my God, like you're amazing," is it more of you? Actually, it is, right? Like, so giving yourself the opportunity to be yourself in the corporate space opens it up for your brothers to come through who are like you and can expand the gap more and more. So, like, you being yourself not only makes space for you, but it makes space for your crew.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I appreciate you saying that, because that's what success is to me. When the circle is on and everybody's
facts. I know that I asked this question earlier to Zoe, and I'm going to circle back to Zoe. I'm going to get the opposite though. Ask Zoe why it was lame. I'm going to give you the opportunity to big yourself up as well. Zoe, what makes you dope?
I would say my balance. And that sounds like a lame answer, but
nah, that's a good answer.
Balance, because I would like to say I'm a chameleon, right? Like I could blend in anywhere. And I think that's what gives me, like, people think I'm cool. Like people, I don't know why I have like a look on my face that random people just talk to me. Like,
yo, I've never met anybody in my life between two people, you and Tiffany. Things happen in front of y'all all the time. I could be riding the train for 2 years. I don't see none of the stories that she sees in 5 days. It's like, yo, and Zoe, everything happens in front of Alonzo, son. He's the one that gets the cold food. He's the one that people slam on brakes in front of. He's the one who the teacher may talk crazy to his kid. He's the one whose mom, people get her fucked up every now and then. It's like, how does all these things happen in front of Alonzo to where he makes it into a funny story? It's hilarious.
That's the part that's weird. It's like I have the ability to, even when I'm mad or upset or down, like y'all, I've called y'all know I've called and been upset and vented, and halfway through, y'all know I'm joking on myself. Like I know I ain't tripping. So I think that's that's the best, because I have a good sense of humor, and that gets the balance of when things are tough or down or awkward or whatever, I can like level the playing field to where everyone's comfortable.
Well, here we go again.
That's dope. That's dope. In terms of energy, like exchanging that or making the space around you feel that. Yeah. That's dope. That's super dope.
I was going to say, here we go again. I'm going to ask Cleveland the same question. So I need y'all to sit in y'all seats for a half hour while he gives us his answer why. So Cleveland, what makes you dope, bro?
I think what makes me dope is my growth, man. Honestly, I think
you are a tall man.
No, not that. Not that. I think what makes me dope is that I'm able to adapt and I'm able to grow. I think my adaptability is what makes me dope, not in a way where I'm forfeiting like who I am or trying to come across as something that I'm not, but I'm able to speak a language in multiple sectors. Like I'm able to connect with multiple different types of people. And, you know, I can go from having a conversation with someone who knows nothing about my culture that lives in Poland. I literally have made a friend that lives in Poland. This guy I used to work with, and have in-depth conversations with y'all, give presentations in the boardroom. And I think that adaptability is something that I hadn't noticed as a superpower until lately, to be honest.
I like that.
It's a blessing to have it. For sure, to be able to speak language.
Thank you for giving us a fucking straight answer about yourself. Thank you, mate.
Talking about myself, is that it?
Same to you. What makes you dope, bro?
I mean, I feel it's interesting that we're all on this call together and we all have those similar characteristics. I think we all just have that ability. I just have that ability myself to.
Thank you. Own it.
Feel confident in myself, where I don't have to force it. But what makes me really dope is that I think I'm still compassionate, even against people who do me wrong. You know, like I will never hurt you the way you hurt me, but I'll have to let you know that I was hurt. for my own sense of security and safety and an idea of acknowledging it. But I have a lot of resistance to people and what they do that may not feel right for me at the time. I feel like people is people. I feel like things happen and things just happen where you be on the receiving end of it. And I just don't take it personal, you know? So like, I think that allows me to connect with people. And even alongside of that, just not judging people. I don't really have a judging nature. I
love that.
I love people. I think people are unique and dope. And I think everyone who's unique and dope who feels that way about themselves, and I want to be your friend because I feel like, you know, we can exchange some cool energy and we can grow together and that's what it's about. And I can learn a lot of things, you know? So like, I'm not afraid to learn from other people. And I guess that's to Cleveland's point. And I said it earlier about we all have these same, I have like that same, and I felt that. So I kind of like felt when Cleveland said that, you know, but Enzo, when he said about just the room and just being a chameleon to the degree where I could just blend in with anything and anyone, you know, and yeah, so like I think that's cool. It's interesting that we all said that, and I kind of noticed that. I was like, damn, you guys sound like us or me. Cool.
Birds of a feather.
Right.
So I'm just waiting for y'all to ask me the same question. I can just sit here and ask.
I had a Cleveland question, actually.
Go ahead, Kev.
I had a Cleveland question. And I think I know the answer, but I want you to express that. I guess like I'll change the pace. I'm gonna ask you a really comical relief question. What's your favorite movie?
That's easy. 5 Heartbeats. The 5 Heartbeats. I can watch it. I have watched. That's right.
You got to have love.
I ain't gonna let that rock for the folks at the end. Just have to throw that in there real quick.
Preview, sneak peek.
Yeah.
Taste test.
No, why do you like? Is it's not a real group, right?
But you gonna expand? You just be 5 Heartbeats.
Robert, no. 5 Heartbeats. I'll tell you what, I watched it a million times. It's a musical, but it's like a biopic, even though it's not based on a real group, like Zoe just said. But it's such a great movie. Yo, Robert Townsend is dope.
Underrated.
So
Meteor
underrated.
Man himself.
Yep.
Meteor Man. Yo, when we was watching Meteor Man, when Zoe made his daughters watch Meteor Man, just because somebody referenced it on the show. When we was watching Meteor Man, I'm like, yo, the plot is dope. The effects
he had Bill Cosby
for the
paying
time period.
a bum. He had Bill Cosby being homeless.
Yeah, like Bill Cosby was like flipping people around with his fingers. I'm like, yo, man, it was a good he's dope. But nah, man.
And the parenthood is his daughter is on Black Lady Sketch Show.
I did not know. Who's his daughter? Which one's
I think her name is Sky. Sky Townsend. I think she just hopped on this season, but she's hilarious too.
I gotta check that out. Because I watched the first season. I haven't seen any of the latest seasons though.
I thought you support Black women.
I do. Every day when I go to work,
bro. Don't let him jam you up. He trying to jam you up.
Nah, man, it's a wonderful movie. So many one-liners. Cool. It's a dope.
Well, you had a question. What was your question? I know I just interrupted you. You can react. I think VAR question.
Nah, I was gonna ask VAR like what makes him dope. Like what makes VAR dope.
Yeah. I had to demand it. A couple of things, right? I would say number one, I think Cleveland, you and I talked about it, but you alluded to it a little bit. I feel like I'm top 2% communicators on earth. I feel like my communication is when I'm not speaking quickly, it's top notch. Like I found myself being in a space where you recognize that your communication is elite at different levels, and from one job to the next, in one space to another, and I can kind of articulate what people are trying to say in a way that makes it more palatable. I always like to think about how can I say this to a fifth grader? Like, how can I say that to somebody that's like, I don't know what this is? And number two, I would say resilience. I feel like the things that I've been through only help to fuel me. It doesn't hinder me at all. It's almost like just a story. Everything that I've been through is a story. It's a lesson. And I'm finding a way through communication to pivot that and make it so that you can learn from my mistakes. Hove did that. So hopefully you don't got to go through that. You know what I mean? Something like that, where it's like, I don't have to have you do that. If my job is met, if what took me 7 days, you can get into 3. Like, how can I cut your time in half? And that's a measurement of like how well I prepare people or how I want to prepare folks for things that I've been through.
I love that, bro.
You know what? That's so in line with, I know it's not gonna be surprising, but with a sermon I just heard yesterday, TD Jakes was, he was preaching, and the verse he was preaching on, it was, Jesus was talking to Peter, and he said, after you've been converted, strengthen your brothers. And it's like basically saying, after you've gone through your process, you're supposed to go back and strengthen your brothers, your peers, so to your point, like what took me 7 years is going to take you 3 years because I'm coming back and giving you the game. So that's so important to do, man. I see that in you for sure.
Just like we can have juxtaposition media with Cleveland having his motivational moments, Kev having Kev's cooking corner and Hint of Health, and Alonzo taking his family and putting it on YouTube because he can make $1 million with his family alone. I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
Cooking corner doesn't sound too bad, actually.
I'm just trying to tell you, man. Look, you first
with the hint of health.
Right, with the and a hint of what is it? Ancient oats?
Yeah, ancient grains.
Oh, ancient grains. Okay, my fault. We're gonna wrap this up in a bit. I'm gonna have one final question for each of you as we transition. What is your greatest creation to date? What is your greatest creation to date? And if you have kids, don't say them because that's
I was about to say I got 2 of them. You took the words out of my mouth.
I know, because y'all gonna be like, my daughters. It's like, all right, we get it.
But I like my car.
I didn't create that shit. I'm paying for it.
You created the opportunity to buy one of them bitches.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Man, that's a good question, man. That's like
creation?
That's like
greatest creation.
I'm gonna say my brand, my personal brand. Like
I love that. I love that.
And for what they know me as, and you know, as for the ones who continue to watch me grow and been in my corner as I grew, you know, I think we all should kind of be sensitive to who we are. And Zoe said this earlier, right, about how people perceive and what type of legacy that he's going to leave. So I think today, if I have any control of things that might have affected relationships in the past, then I think I would have been more. I don't think things would have changed. I think I've always kind of been who I wanted to be. Even when I reflect on things that happened, I'm like, did I do what I was supposed to do? Was I true? And then if I can sleep well, then I'm cool for that, you know. And but yeah, I'll say that. I say my personal.
I like that. So, how about you?
My greatest creation. Maybe my business.
Sis.
Yeah, the CEO business thing, or. Damn, I would probably say my greatest creation, even though I can't say my kids, is probably my family structure.
I love it.
Like
I love it.
I would say that because I can't say the kids because that's like the Captain Obvious right there. And obviously I didn't do it by myself.
I mean, that's not all the way bad. I think if you
that's a fire. It's fire.
Yeah.
Just like Cleveland's going to say his wife. His marriage. That's what
yeah, he is. I would say the structure though, because like you said, for think about it this though, Var. I would say I think it's the greatest because I love it, I enjoy it, and for you, as somebody who knows us, like be like, yo, why you not recording that? Like,
yes,
that's what I'm saying. Like to me, it's like, damn, I must really did. Like I molded these people to act just as nuts as me,
bro. Like yo, Justice League. Zoe's wife is an observer by nature. Yo. Her jokes hit these days, son. Like it's like to see that happen, and then obviously your daughters came from you and your wife, so they're gonna have that jokester mentality and like. But yeah, your aura is infectious, bro. Like I mentioned, whenever people mention the podcast, Alonzo's so funny. I'm like, tell him he has an Instagram. Let him know how funny he is. You know what I mean? Respectfully,
they don't care about me
because he has a wife, ladies.
Yeah, I mean. Say,
stop it.
For the fans. It's for the fans.
Cleveland, how about you? What is
all right. So I'm gonna get the family off the table because I have to acknowledge family. So I gotta say, like, greatest creation, of course, my family. The family unit that I've been blessed to create with my wife, also with my daughter. Two things happened over the course of this past year that showed me that she's like observant and she's learning and she's taking elements of my personality and character, making it her own. She sent an email to her principal And then the other day she sent an email to her teacher because her principal sent out this like very vague, ambiguous email about things that were going on in society. And Amaya sent her an email and was like, well, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the pandemic? Are you talking about George Floyd being murdered?
Look at that. Look at that.
So I was like, oh, okay. I saved the email. I literally have it saved. And then the other day, her teacher was referring to Black people as the blacks.
No, they did not.
Oh, no.
These microaggressions, right?
The blacks.
Yo, I'm serious. These microaggressions.
Dog,
so
I'm driving
before she even told my wife and I, she sent an email. And we read it and we were so impressed. We were like, I don't even know if I have to follow up. The teacher emailed her back like, I'm so sorry. Thank you for having the courage to stand up. But like, to me, creating a space for her to both observe and to feel like, nah, I know how to use my words so I can use them in this situation.
Furthermore, thus, niggas.
Exactly, bro. But I think that is my ultimate creation.
You can't beat it,
you
can't beat it.
I would have said, I think I would have said family, like, yo, I'm not going to leave my cinnamon apple.
That was a good. Leave it to kill.
You can't, man.
Cinnamon apple.
I couldn't have created it without her, so I didn't want to take all the credit. So that's why I just.
They cheated though. They wasn't supposed to say that because.
Yeah, I'll follow up. I'll follow up my second because Zoe says businesses in his family. I'll follow up with, honestly, working on my craft of public speaking, man. I think that's if you're given a gift, it's your responsibility to refine it and take it to maximum capacity. And I've taken it.
If not, it's a sin. That's what I learned from Cleveland. If you don't use your gifts, it's a sin. That's what I heard.
Miss the mark. If you miss the mark. So yeah, man, I would say those two things.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And what about you? So far, let us know. What's your greatest creation?
Oh man.
And don't say another bad.
Stop. I would say two things. Number one, because I'm thinking about things that I literally created. I would say number one, my quality of life. I have parameters in place to where it's God featuring me, where I have the ability to cultivate the life that I've always wanted and to move in my pace. I feel like I have complete autonomy given like God's grace to do the things that I want to do. And within that, I would say my network. I'm very proud of the network that I've been able to establish. Very blessed and privileged to be in a space that I'm in, to be able to be around people who are doing amazing things that inspire me, that also allow me to give back to my mentees and people which helps me to cut that time in half, so to speak. So I would say quality of life is first and foremost what I feel like I'm happy that I've created, but also like my network that I can literally help people reach different goals and help me to reach my goals too. Because when I was looking for roles, my network mobilized immediately. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. So
I can definitely agree with you on that, Var, because remember there was like a few episodes ago we talked about us all being broke, and it was like the broke Var, like,
yeah.
And it's like, remember we was like talking about that, and I'm like, yo, me and my dad when we were always out in Tennessee, and I was telling him about like your car and stuff. He's like, damn, I'm proud of Var. Like, yo, y'all really up here getting it. Like my dad was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like just the changes and just he literally watched us from like,
yo, it's insane, yo. But it speaks to something that Kev said earlier, and we're gonna wrap it up after this. I've always had I know we've all had, but I can only speak for myself, had this confidence in myself. My reality today has nothing to do with my tomorrow. Nothing whatsoever. To me, I haven't accomplished things that I didn't see already. I'm like, to think about what's next is like scary. It's like, whoa, you got families, you got marriage, you got home ownership. Shout out to Zoe. Those are the things that are like, whoa. The career stuff I feel like we put work in, so we will reap the benefits, but it's the other things, the blessings about beautiful people in our lives, opportunities, like being surrounded with people who are doing things that are on par, that inspire you. That's the shit that's like, whew, that stuff right there. You can't work hard to have great friends. You can't do that. You can't work hard. Right. And that's what I think, that if I could wrap it up with anything, it's like, the thing that I love about us.
Go ahead. Notice how he ain't say nothing either.
The thing that I would say is we're all blessed to not only know each other, love each other, but be inspired by each other. So I hope that the Juxtas League gets a chance to take a little bit of that about us. But we'll have another one when Moneybag Yo is here. He's all taking care of business as usual. But with that said, I'm kicking to y'all for y'all favorite segment.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Hey, yo, Zoe knows this. Zoe knows that. So light skin, but Zoe stay black. Yes, y'all.
Come
I
on,
like
man.
saying that. I don't know. That's the old in me. You know, I stay these
Old soul, young
like
hairline.
old folk Tourette's, like where I say like old phrases and stuff. Well, in the news, we have. I'm gonna start. You know my rule. If I got something heavy, I'm gonna start off bad, but end up like the family of was it Elizabeth, North Carolina? I keep
Elizabeth City.
Elizabeth City, because we got Elizabeth in New Jersey, so it gets
Right.
a little dicey for me. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. They finally released more footage, but I heard they like doctored the footage up, meaning like they blurred out the faces of the officers, which is why. You know what I mean? Like they did a lot of weird things. They selected, it was like I think like 20 something minutes or whatever, 18 minutes. And they kind of selected on what part. It just wasn't transparent. So we see that there's clearly a systemic problem in the culture in that town of policing. So I mean, I don't want to say I'm happy for, but I'm okay that the family got a chance to see more evidence. And I hope it helps them with their case, resolve some things, and anybody going forward. So this is going to be the next wave. You know, we just had George Floyd, so this is going to be the next wave of justice reform. This is going to be another example on what not to do. And then I'm very happy to be here as a Knicks fan.
Oh my God, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, we are the 4th seed, home court advantage. We ain't been in the playoffs in like 7 years since Melo left. So that's huge. And here's crazy. On Thursday's game against the Spurs, my dad was selected to be the virtual fan. So every halftime and commercial break,
snap.
they show like he has to sit and do all that wow like that. And
that's what's up.
In the middle of the living room.
Yo, it was hilarious, yo. We was in the cabin and he's like, I need a good background. Like he was just, and then the thing is, while you're in the game, you're actually talking to other fans.
Oh wow!
They like connect you with other like Knicks fans. You know, talking about the game and who's who and the stats. And I like this one, and we should trade. So it's not just you by yourself. You actually get to communicate with a handful of people that were selected. So
technology, man.
Yeah, it's crazy dope. And then the real news is all of my team is winning right now.
Okay, I like that.
That's the real news. Like I know the world, we get crazy. We know. There's COVID restrictions being lifted and Joe Biden pretty much like, yo, shot or mask, things are opening up over here. But like Kev said, people still wow. I mean, I had a lady today tell me like, yo, you don't gotta wear a mask in here. I already had COVID. I'm like,
hey, yo,
that's not bitch.
That's
like,
not reassuring. What are you talking about?
I'm like, I had it too. What are you talking about? And I'm still rocking mine. So it's weird. So I try not to go down that rabbit hole. If y'all know what it is, but today I'm feeling good. We had a good conversation expressing who we are and what motivates and pushes us. So the real news is that right now, you know, we are very grateful and appreciative, and we are blessed that the Juxtaposition podcast as a whole has some good juju going on right now.
Facts.
And we're all doing pretty well, even in spite of our trials that we're currently going through. We're still going through stuff now, but we don't let it phase us. And that's the biggest news is that we stay the course.
Yeah, man. And once again, bro, congratulations on the home. That's big.
Major.
That's
thank
amazing. You know, it makes me think that we haven't had a motivational moment in a while. It's gonna put you on blast on record. We need one in the next 2 weeks. We need something.
I got you.
Something. I know you've been moving and shaking. You didn't travel to the West Coast. You got a new job, but we need you to cook up again. Get back on it. We need it.
I got you.
So keep the ball so you can get us out of here with the serenity prayer.
Oh, I get to shoot last? That don't happen.
Ooh, it happens every episode.
Oh, well, we want to ask God to grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and more importantly, the wisdom to know the difference between the two.
Hallelujah.
Is there a heart? Is there a heart?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was our Obama episode, episode 44.
You got to have love in your heart.
And we'll be back with episode 45.
Jordan,
Next, I'm about to say, you see what I did? I'm back. We'll be back. 45. Until next week, we'll see y'all later.
you just kicked in the door with the 4-4.